Hello everybody, my name is Ronja Engarde, and welcome back for more Pokemon Platinum. In the last part, we beefed up our team a little bit by grinding in the Wayward Cave, and in this part, we're gonna make our way over to Hardhome City. Probably gonna be not too much interesting happening in this episode. There's probably gonna be a lot of fighting against trainers, because there's a lot of fucking trainers on our way to Hardhome. Well, hopefully there's gonna be, something interesting to either see and or talk about. I mean, we are gonna see our second, third. The third time we're gonna meet, almost it gets this, Cyrus. Oh, you. Let's take a chance, because, it A, doesn't have any ground attacks, and B, I'm immune to those anyway, so... Fury Cutter, please. Come on, Spicy Meme, spice it up, honey. I was actually just recently talking to somebody about about makeup tips, so I guess I'm still sort of in that kind of mood. Because I mean, in case the image on my profile isn't telling enough, I am actually, well, I suppose I can't really call myself a full-on drag queen quite yet. I'm still stuck on doing the makeup part, but I feel like I've gotten fairly good. And it's a lot of fun, that it is. And somebody just asked me, I said, well, like tips for makeup, and I suppose I've done it enough to know at least the general tips, because there's if you're doing it for the first time, there's stuff you should focus on and stuff you shouldn't focus on, because there's pretty much if somebody asks me like, okay, I'm gonna try to do drag and or cross-dressing, where should I start? Pretty much it's not really that much for your first time. It's like, get a good foundation that matches your skin tone, get an orange eyeshadow to cover your 5 o'clock shadow, because we as men, we all got ourselves one of those. Then invest in some fake eyelashes, a cute lip color, and a decent wig. And I mean, decent is a very loose term in this case, because I mean, there's a lot of good wigs you can actually get for like $5 to $10 off of like AliExpress or something. And I definitely don't believe in the thing of like buying expensive shit when you're just starting out, because I quite on the opposite hand believe you should buy something really shitty when you're starting out. Like, get yourself that fucking $2 mascara and shit like that, because in the beginning you're just experimenting and trying shit out, so you shouldn't experiment with like a fucking $200 foundation or something crazy like that. I mean, that's just what I did, really. I just when I started out, I just had I borrowed a lot of shit. I got some from my girlfriends, and in general bought a lot of shit from AliExpress. Fake lashes and wigs and all that kind of shit, because that's one thing I will say, that you can actually get some pretty decent wigs from AliExpress. And especially if you invest in a good brush for wigs, then you're actually pretty good to go, because there's you definitely wouldn't use like a human hair brush on wigs, unless the wigs are human hair. But even then, there's like a specific like steel. I don't know what you would call that, like the bristles of the brush are like not plastic or synthetic, they are like actual steel, because you can afford to be a little rougher with synthetic wigs, and in general you should probably be, because you need to be a little, you know, to get out the knots and curls and all that shit. I don't know. Definitely don't take my advice, you know, at face value, because I myself am just, you know, starting out, so yeah, take any advice I give with a grain of salt, because I'm sure that somebody that's actually professional at doing this shit would find a lot of faults and flaws in what I'm saying, but at least with the makeup part, I think I'm fairly confident at what I'm saying, at the very least. Actually, now we're almost done with this entire route. There's only this hiker, and then there's a double battle that's waiting for us. Which I'm planning to use Rock's Raquel and Spicy Beam to abuse the fact that Spicy Beam has a levitate. Actually, it was really Diamond and Pearl that helped me get a little more advanced with my double battling. I mean, I'm still pretty shitty at coming up with good strategies for double battles, because, you know, I wouldn't call myself a competitive battler by any stretch of the imagination, because, you know, I for the most part do deal a lot with, you know, like challenge runs and in-game runs more so. So I'm not like super familiar with like the quote-unquote meta and all that kind of shit. So, but I think Diamond and Pearl, well, Generation 4 in general, upped my double battle game a little bit, especially in Pokemon Battle Revolution, because I remember especially the Stargazer Coliseum, you know, the quote-unquote the final boss Coliseum, really fucking handed my ass to me, because those double battles were not, you know, playing around, because there was a lot of, you know, synergies in that I just didn't really think about, because really I just went into Pokemon Battle Revolution, you know, the double battles there, went into it with a single battle mentality. Like, I just picked two Pokemon that would have been good in single battle and just put them into the double battle, thinking, you know, nah, that's gonna be good enough. Oh, that sure did not go as well as I thought it would. I even at one point went in with like a full team of legendaries, including 2 Arceuses, because a friend of mine had hacked himself 2 Arceuses for himself, and you know, he just gave them to me because he was kind of overplaying Pokemon, so, you know, I just said please and thank you, and I got them. And, you know, I went into that with like the full shebang of like both of them having plates, and, you know, using judgment, and just thinking that, you know, okay, this is gonna kill everything. Nope. My ass was still handed to me, because you know, you can't just go in with a team of legendaries and expect to win, which I feel like a lot of young kids learn when they first enter you know, the fucking Wi-Fi battles for the first time, going in with a team of legendary, thinking that, you know, I'm gonna win, and, you know, getting their asses handed to them by, you know, a strong OU team. Or, you know, sometimes there are some really good battlers that use unconventional Pokemon and still, you know, hand the asses of the legendary users to them. And I have so much respect for the people that, you know, are able to use those really unconventional Pokemon and, you know, really do a lot of cool, funny shit with that. Because that's definitely the kind of shit that I like. Because I don't really like using, you know, strictly over OU teams. Because I just don't like using Pokemon that are quote-unquote overused. not because of like any reason of like oh, it's just not cool to use those Pokemon. Like, I want to use the Pokemon that I like. But I just don't enjoy using Pokemon that I've used a lot. Or I suppose it's also the fact that, you know, if it's a Pokemon that's really cool and popular, it's just like, I feel less inclined to use it. So I suppose it is kind of the whole contrarian part of me that's playing into that a little bit. I know, for example, with Zizor, it's not a Pokemon that I really like to begin with, but I feel even less inclined to use it since it is, you know, so popular in the metagame. And I just in general like using Pokemon that are in lower tiers, just because it's fun, and it's the whole, you know, quote-unquote Karen argument of like. That actually I'm on the opposite side of that argument, kind of, because the Karen argument goes, you know, it's the quote from Karen from Generation 2, well, from the Johto games, I should say. I don't have the exact quote in my head, but it goes something like, you know, strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon, whatever, you should win with the Pokemon that you like. I actually, to be perfectly accurate, I both disagree and agree with that. I agree with that if you're talking about either A, in-game runs, or B, if you're just looking to have fun. With in-game runs, I definitely don't think you should go in, you know, trying to win, quote-unquote, because, like, it's fucking Pokemon. You could win this game by using, I shouldn't say as I have shown, but as a lot of people have shown, you can beat this game with pretty much anything and having like the craziest stipulations put on yourself and still be able to make it just fine. So I feel like if you're playing in-game, you should do it for fun. You shouldn't do that because you want to quote-unquote win. So then I definitely agree that, you know, choose the Pokemon you like. Don't care how good or bad they are. But if you're playing competitively and you're aiming to win, then I think the Karen quote is just straight up stupid. Cause like, if you're playing to win, why not choose the best Pokemon? Like, sure, if your goal is to win with your favorites, sure, that's fine. But then don't expect to, you know, well, then you need to realize that you are giving yourself a handicap. Like, you can't go into it and say that, you know, oh, I'm doing just as well as somebody that's using an OU team because I'm using my favorites. Like, you know that you are giving yourself a handicap. Like, I'm not saying it's wrong, and I don't say that you shouldn't do it. I just don't, you know, like the people that are like, well, I'm using my favorites and that's why I lost, because I wanted to have fun instead of winning. Like, no, shut the fuck up. Either you came here to have fun or you came here to win. Either or. Like, you can't say that you were going here and you were gonna do both, because you knew what you were going in with. So clearly, you were setting yourself up to, you know, lose, but also then to lose, but then also, you know, have a good time. You don't have to win to have a good time. You can try to win, but like, as long as you know that you have given yourself a handicap compared to the other people that are using, you know, things that are higher tiered. I don't know. I guess I'm just annoyed by the people that are like, everybody should just use their favorites. People shouldn't, you know, just go by Smogon rules and use the best ones. Like, that's the point of the tiering system, is, you know, in competitive battling. Like, if you shouldn't use, you know, a competitive team in game, because that just, what's the point in that? Like, it's the, I don't know, the hunting deer with a bazooka kind of thing. It's like, no, why are you doing that? So yeah, I agree with, like, in game you shouldn't pick a competitively viable team unless they happen to be your favorite Pokemon. Like, I mean, there are people out there that have, you know, like Landorus and fucking Caesar as their favorite Pokemon. Like, I'm not saying that, but, you know, I'm all over the place with this argument. Hopefully you're able to glean at least something from this. I think I'm gonna do this. I have work bitch on, well, I almost called it life support, which I suppose it kind of is. Because at this point it's starting to get a little unsafe for Monferno until it becomes a Infernape. Because it's starting to have a little low defense compared to, you know, others. And it's not the strongest thing in the world with the attacks that it has available to it, so probably gonna, you know, have it on life support for the time being. Until I think of something better to do with it. I don't know. I suppose after we have defeated this gym and gotten ourselves to Veilstone City, the 4th gym city, we are able to pick up a lot of TMs that are going to be pretty helpful for the entire team pretty much, but especially Work Bitch, because then we're going to be able to get, like, you know, Flamethrower, and we're going to be able to get Focus Blast, and, you know, lots and lots of good shit. I do wonder what we're going to get here. There is a chance for us to get Ralts, which would actually be kind of fun. I don't know. I mean, the Ralts line is another one of those lines where, like, oh, I've just used this so fucking much. But it would still be kind of fun. Don't really feel like going for another Roselia, although, you know, it could be tempting, but, at that point I would rather have a Waltz. And I'm not gonna go for a Bidoof either. Please. No. And there we go. Finally a Ralts. It does have, almost a levitate, teleport. Wait, does Work Bitch still have taunt? It does. Oh, I should have put that in front. Oh. Fuck it, let's attempt it. I'm probably gonna lose it now, but at least I put in the effort. Okay, double team. That is not the best, because that would mean that it's probably, I'm probably gonna miss the taunt now. Just watch me. Okay, infusion. Okay. Okay. Whew. There we go. Taunt Ed. I think a Rock Tomb and a Flame Whale would kill it, so let's go for the Mach Punch. Ooh. That did quite a bit of damage. How much? Oh, Confusion does do a little too much for my liking. Switch to Narcissus. And then, the taunt still hasn't ended, which means that we're still safe. Safe enough to throw a... Okay, the taunt wore off now, so now we need to really put in our A game. Let's go for the Nest Ball. Feck it. And there we go. Huh. That could have ended really badly, but it didn't. Hooray! And I know exactly what to call you, little miss. Gonna call you Elizabeth. Which, for some reason, I've really grown to like as a nickname. God damn it. No, Bidoof, you were too late. I mean, the only way I would have actually caught the Bidoof was if it was shiny. And even then I would have been kind of unhappy because I already have a shiny Bibarel. Which I actually caught in Platinum in a Nuzlocke. Hello? Oh, thank goodness you happened to be there. Oh no, plot! We can't even escape the plot by just going into the town. The plot is just gonna bombard us right where we stand. Now I want to throw out Humming, because there's a certain Pokemon we're going to be able to pick up right next door. So let's just deposit Humming. Throw you into the box. And let us get our lovely, lovely reward for talking to people. Sitting right next door, which, you know, is an Eevee. Not the biggest fan of Eevee, really, because I don't know, I kind of don't like how every evolution has, like, really shitty move pools. Like, there's not a single evolution that actually has a good move pool. Well, in-game at the very least. Like, if you count, you know, competitively, they have, like, workable move pools, but... Sure. Named after one of my very favorite vibes of all time. Escalera! Escalera! Oh! Yeah, fuck yeah! It does have hasty nature, which is actually pretty good for really every evolution, so it has, you know, the opportunities of the world laid open for it. So let's see what we got. Oh, son of a bitch. Why? Well, I guess the Ralts is cursed. Oh well. And also, since it's a female, we can't evolve it into... Because Careful Nature would have actually been pretty good on a Glade. But, nope. You had to go ahead and be a female. Ugh. Oh, well. I guess it's gonna be one of those Pokemon where, you know, if everything else is gonna die, then we have at least that in the bank, as I should say. Also, I really liked how they actually added in the starters for this, because then you actually have the possibility of getting in. Because, you know, there have been some playthroughs where, you know, I've just been straight up locked out of this place since, you know, you're playing in Nuzlocke and, you know, don't have the right Pokemon. No, fuck you. You don't have access to this place. I think there's a guy in the other entrance that talks about, like, they didn't allow my Steelix or my, I don't, Gyarados, I think, was the other one. Let's just talk to him and see what he says. I'm appalled. They refused entry to my Pokemon. Oh, my poor Gyarados and Steelix. This is discrimination. I agree. Well, I suppose those two in particular are a little, like, they're kind of big, so, like, I can't excuse them for that, but, who are they to assume the cuteness of my Pokemon? I, for one, think my, I don't have anyone that are, like, quote-unquote not cute. Damn it. Foiled again. Oh, that took a little too long. That almost scared me. Like, have I soft-locked my game? Also, just putting it out there that when I was in Eternus City, I did purposely not pick up the Draco plate that was behind the statue. The reason for this being that I never ever have a use for it, so like I feel like it just takes up space in my inventory. So just I feel like I think also you can tell in the episode itself that I'm about to go behind the statue, but then I change my mind. Like I think you can, if you jump to that, I put up on screen, please, where that exact part of that episode is. Yeah, if you go to that part of that episode, you can see that I'm like almost going behind the statue, but then I changed my mind because I remember that, fuck, getting that item is just, it's just gonna fill up my bag. Lord. But I think that has been plenty enough for this episode, so I'm gonna be seeing you guys in the next time. Goodbye.